Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Elliot, and this is another episode of Urban Sage Teachings 101. I'm out here in the desert. I really have no idea. I have no idea where I am, really. I hardly know how I got here, but I'm here. And that's how I feel about life. It's like you don't really know how you got here. You barely know where you are, but you're here. And so I'm walking around here, and as you're walking on this gravel, this sand, you leave an imprint. And it got me thinking about, what do I want my imprint to be? And so ask yourself, what do you want your imprint to be of your life? What are you trying to leave here? And maybe that's an egocentric idea of, what do I want to impress upon the world so they know that I've been here? Which you could ignore. You could just live your life freely and just meander around joyfully, and that's great. That's really awesome. And I'll do that often. That's kind of why I'm here. I didn't really anticipate doing this, being here. I just said, yeah. But for me, being able to partake in behavior that I feel like is aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing, it allows me to enjoy these moments more. And sometimes my thinking can be an inhibitor for me to be present. And sometimes I feel like me trying to distinguish what I should be doing doesn't allow me to really focus on anything in front of me. And it's a practice. You practice being present. You practice focusing on where you are. I was told very early in my development, my sobriety, that if you want to be present, tell yourself a story about it. Attach yourself to where you are with a story. And in the beginning of my life, my development, I would tell myself irrelevant stories. I would say something like, a giant rock monster put all this together and we're roaming around his kingdom right now. And all of these minor rocks are his minions, and we're seeking out his treasure. Something like that, right? And what started to happen is I started to distinguish qualities of a story that I aspired to have in my own life. I want my kingdom. I want my treasure. I want my people. And now I get to tell myself a story that is associated with what I want and what I want my story to be. And so I get to tell myself a story today that's like, I get to show up and share my gifts with people who are in my kingdom, my life. And through being able to distinguish what I want that to contextualize, what I want my gifts to be, what I want my kingdom to be, who I want my partners to be, I get to embark on a path that is working towards fulfilling those things. And really, that's my imprint, right? For me, my imprint doesn't have to be anything that is more grand than just within my present existence. Do I want to influence the world? Of course I do. I'd be fooling you and myself if I said otherwise, because I do. I really wholeheartedly believe that when you apply your thinking and your mentality onto another person so it implements a level of change in them, you have the potential to change a generation. You have the potential to change the world just through one act of altruism. And that's definitely something that I aspire to do. I aspire to change the world one act at a time. And this is one of those acts. But I also know how I want this moment to be imprinted and how I want to imprint this moment. And because of that, it allows me to show up in my life in a different dynamic than if I was just rolling with the punches, right? That's fine. You can do that. But the discomfort caused from the inability to distinguish what it is that you want to be a part of. I mean, if you're anything like me, it robs you of living a life of positivity or negativity, right? At least when I'm present, I can experience what's negative, and that's a blessing. Just being able to experience any of my experiences is far beyond whatever I felt was going to be conceivable of my life. Like I'm out here with a really special person in a really special place, doing something really special to me. And I can only do that because I know what I want the characteristics of my imprint to be. So ask yourself, who do I want in my life? What do I want to be doing? Where do I want to be? How do I want to imprint my environment? And take action that fulfills that, right? I mean, imagine I'm making this video while my phone is on a tripod. Imagine if I didn't know that I had to bring a tripod. I'd be filming this video like this, and you wouldn't be able to see this view behind me. And I'd be robbing you of an experience because I couldn't distinguish what I needed for myself to succeed. So distinguish what you need to succeed so other people can have a better experience, right? And that may be material things, that may be mindsets, that may be relationships or environments. But to do that, you need to distinguish what it is that you want, right? I couldn't have brought this tripod if I didn't know that I wanted to make a video, right? And then if you really want to dive deep, ask yourself why you want to do the thing that you aspire to do. Like the reason why I want to make a video is because I want to influence someone grand enough for them to make a change themselves, bring someone else to a point of change, right? And in knowing that, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to forget this tripod. With assurance, I'm going to bring it because I know the why in which I'm trying to fulfill something. And these are all components of my footprint, of my own life, of my world, someone else's world, and your world. And so as you're starting to figure out for yourself what you want your life to be, what you want your life to encompass, the ingredients of your life, ask yourself these questions. What do I want to do? Who do I want to be? Who do I want in my life? What do I want to execute? That's the beginning. And then ask yourself what components allow that to happen, right? You know, a lot of the times, you know, we just wake up and we say, okay, whatever comes my way is what I'm going to be a part of. And that's great. But you can enjoy each moment that you're within with more jovial emotions because you've distinguished what you want to be a part of. And then, like, I knew I was going to make a video. I didn't know where I was going to go, right? And then I ended up here. But because I had an understanding of how I wanted my life to unfold and what behaviors I wanted to be a part of, being able to be here allows this moment to be so much more priceless to me, right? It would have been any moment, but because I'm here in this, you know, spice of life, like this is a spice right here. This is like some like ghost chili pepper. I'm like, you know, like this is cool. This is really cool. And all the components that allow this to happen is really cool, right? But know what you want to make, right? And then you can change up the ingredients a little bit. You can change the ingredients, right? You know, if you want to be a teacher, you're like, okay, what do I want to teach? If you want to be an artist, okay, what do I want to create? If you're a musician, what do you want to compose? And ask yourself these questions, because then, you know, like Pablo Picasso said, he said, you know, learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like a master and become the master of your life. And in doing that, you have to distinguish what you want that to be, right? What do you want your imprint to be? And then in being a part of these moments of variety, it allows your journey, your process, your development to be so majestic. Like this is majestic. Like this is, I use that word often, but for real, like this, like that's majestic right there. And the only reason why I get to be a part of a moment like this is because I got to formulate an understanding of what it is that I wanted my imprint to be. And so take some time with yourself. I'm a huge advocate for spending time with yourself and really just distinguishing characteristics of your identity so you can fulfill that aspect of your soul, right? So take some time, meditate. I'm coming out with a book. It's called Urban Sage, a manual to be a sage in your city. And it really breaks down, it's full of really good questions. I spent a lot of time just really analytically thinking what questions are quintessential to really distinguish what you want to be a part of, right? And a lot of that is thinking that is not aligned with the fulfillment of what you want. And then knowing what you want, knowing what it takes to fulfill that desire, where to do that, and really instilling this mindset of gratitude that regardless of whichever way your life, your imprint, your existence unfolds, is more than likely far beyond anything that you could have comprehended prior to that moment of when it starts to go askew. Even if you end up where you didn't expect, it's further than where you started. And being able to be within that moment is really it's what it is it's showing yourself a lot of love, because love is the product of two moments colliding and two separate entities providing what the other needed. Your imprint, your existence, your product of your existence is only made possible with you. It's only made possible with you. This moment could have not unfolded like this if I decided to not care for myself, not care for somebody else, be considerate and compassionate towards myself and others. And so, in the struggles, in the difficulties, and the unfamiliarities that you may be confronted with, have an understanding that in whichever point you end up reaching, whether that's in a few seconds, a few years, even if it doesn't happen for a couple of lifetimes, that moment is only made possible because you invested in yourself and you provided to that moment something it couldn't have had otherwise. And that moment will imprint a feeling on to you that will allow you to know that the imprint that you impressed onto your life represents your value and your purpose and your existence. And in being able to foreshadow that happening while you're moving towards it, you can know within yourself that the struggles, difficulties, unfamiliarities that you're confronted with are of so much purpose, of so much significance, because those are the obstacles that are going to lay the path for you to reach your understanding of yourself. And in knowing that, you simultaneously exist within your purpose while you strive for it, because you know that what you're executing right now is something that will lead you to fulfill your purpose. And then also when you reach that conclusion, when you reach that accomplishment, that achievement, that will also that is a manifestation of what you think that your purpose is. You'll be fulfilling your purpose. And so all of this really stems from the idea of, what do you want your imprint to be? What do you want the conclusion of these moments to be? And maybe that's just peace. Maybe that's changing the world. Maybe that's just showing someone love in a moment or a lifetime. But whatever it is, formulate in your mind's eye, formulate for yourself what it is that you want to execute. And then you can move towards it in peace. And then your journey starts to just be a majestic experience. And so I encourage you to think of an imprint that you can impress onto yourself, onto your environment, your world, that is majestic, that would make you say, wow, I can't believe this is my life. Challenge yourself. Believe in yourself. Be your biggest fan. Aspire to live the life that you don't even think that you're capable of living. And strive for that. Strive for the impossible. Because you can achieve it as soon as you believe that you can. And so I'll leave you guys with that. And I'm really, as I always say, I'm really grateful that I get to talk to you guys. And I'm really grateful. And so, stay tuned for another episode. I don't know where I'll be. I don't know what will be going on. Maybe it'll be in my apartment. Maybe it'll be another majestic environment like this one. But strive for your own. Strive for your own majestic experience, because you can accomplish it. So please drop a like, comment, share, allow other people to have the experience that you've had. Because in doing that, you start to be an urban sage. You start to utilize your identity for the benefit of somebody else. And that, whatever your imprint is, when you hold that in your intention, when that is your intention to use who you are to benefit somebody else, every moment of your life is amazing. So, yeah. So my name's Elliot. This has been another episode of Urban Sage Teachings. Stay tuned for more information about my book. Subscribe, and I'll keep you guys up to date about everything that I'm doing. And until next time, peace.